Over to CPG now, a really interesting category. I was talking earlier about the different states of need that we've been going through, and obviously initially that panic buy with pantry items was something we kind of all saw at the beginning, disinfecting, etc. But also sort of panic buying at supermarkets, and buying whatever we can buy to sort of either ease boredom or just make sure that everybody has got everything they need. So Matt, tell us a little bit about CPG right now. What should marketers again be doing to address, I suppose, not just the now, but actually kind of the medium and slightly longer term? Demand for many products is there, so that's not an issue, and I guess supply and distribution might be a challenge for some, and also we go back to the forced trials question. So over to you, Matt. Give us your view on CPG and questions that marketers should be asking right now to help inform those decisions.
Yeah, like you say, kind of fascinating area, and as John said, I'm lucky enough to be the bull, so I can be doing the kind of positive spin on things. CPG is hugely interesting, partly because we don't know yet whether this is the behavior that consumers are demonstrating is more like a return to safe havens as they look for some kind of comfort and security. So it could be a return to the products that they've always used and loved, and that could be anything from Coca-Cola to kind of disinfectant to disinfect their houses. Let me be clear on that. But then we also know that during recessions, people change from branded goods to own brand goods as some of that pricing impact starts hitting, and that's one of those things about forced trial as people go through big life changes where they kind of become unemployed or have to take a job with less money. And we do see people moving into private label and away from the branded CPG giants that we all know and love. So I guess it's a bit of a wait and see, because we don't know which type of behavior is happening yet. We haven't seen the data. One thing we do know is that people are buying more online, be that through online grocery, as mentioned previously, or through direct consumer. So, I mentioned at the very top, I'm going straight to some of my local breweries and they will deliver to me. But there are, there's everything from direct consumer toiletries, direct consumer, snacking foods as well, that will be gaining market share during these times. And I think that's a really interesting point about how those brands can make a distinct brand for themselves, how they can force trial and repeat and not just use pricing and promotional mechanics to do that, to keep a strong brand that people want to continue buying in the future and want to continue buying when it's at full price and when things do change. So that's a question I'd be asking, is if we are a brand who's seeing big growth, who's seeing growth through selling online or selling direct consumer, are we maintaining our brand principles to ensure that we can charge full price rather than having to charge a promotional price? And I think when we look wider at marketing and maybe move into more like comms marketing, for me, there's a really interesting test and learn case happening right now. P&G have doubled down on advertising spend, and it seems to be straight out of their marketing playbook to invest more in times of recession. Coke have announced they're going to pretty much stop investing in some markets in above the line marketing. And so for two big CPG marketing powerhouses to be making such different decisions, 3 months, 6 months down the line, it's going to be really interesting when we look at that data to see exactly what their fortunes have been through this. So yeah, not too many answers, more of a watch this space, but you can guarantee that we'll be looking at this data in a lot of detail and trying to understand what's going on.
I suppose here's a question for you, Matt, and taking into consideration, much of what you said sort of really makes solid, logical sense, needing to maintain brand awareness, going back to loyalty, which we talked about for retail earlier on. If I'm a marketer trying to justify that spend right now to my CFO, what is the best way of doing that? Because, the CFO is sort of seeing high demand, potentially in some categories, they're seeing high demand and a lack of distribution. So how do you justify sort of asking the business to invest in brand at this moment in time, if you're a marketer trying to justify it to a CFO?
Yeah, so to carry my bullish theme, I would definitely use the opportunity and use that to, there is a real opportunity to be making some serious money from advertising at this time. So as John said, if most of your competition are reducing investment, you can be spending the same or spending a little bit more and guaranteeing yourself massive share of voice in this market right now. And I don't see who wouldn't want to do that, who wouldn't want to get such massive share of voice, to be gaining fame for their brand, to be really building their brand through this time period. I think it comes back to some of the other stuff as well. So if people are going through big life-changing moments, then people are changing the decisions they're making. So being there, being on air when people are making these decisions could be a really key factor to win more ground. And then also the fact that we know from studying this that around about 70% of all CPG advertising returns are made over the long term. They're not made getting people to buy your product here and now. They're made by getting people to buy your product maybe in the future, made by building memory structures, mental availability, making it easy to buy your brand when people are faced with a massive choice, and especially when they do come across those decisions. So really, what you're not doing is advertising for the now. What you're doing is advertising for the future, and advertising to cement your brand as a strong brand in this moment in time and for years and years to come. And like I said, I think that would be really interesting. I think, P&G, we know, are a set of brands that buy into this behavior and really believe in this long term and building up mental availability. It will be very interesting to see how they come out of this. Like I said, very interesting experiment from our side.